So those squads that are bounding Overwatch the trenches are starting to take sniper fire from somewhere.
Roger. Clear up.
So I want to move my machine guns up to the roof of this building to try and support them. Try to spread some fires.
Egressing from target. All ordnance released. Egressing from target. All ordnance released.
So I'm out of laser guided bombs almost on with that Harrier, so I'm just going to try and get him to soften up my main avenue of approach, soften up the ridge overlooking my main avenue of approach. So finally, the 2nd Platoon of Fox Company is here. Also with another platoon of CAAT Humvees, which just, I don't know, they don't need to be here. Just getting away. Again, just loading up on ammo. There seems to be a huge disadvantage on that I've noticed loading you guys up with extra ammo. I don't seem to get that fatigued by it. The advantages of having more ammo over what small penalty it may incur on fatigue and speed just mean it's sort of a no-brainer. The only reason I'm not taking everything is I just don't know what the supply situation in the future is going to be like. And now things just get really slow for a couple of minutes while these guys move, just due to the Fraps recording. So I apologise for this, you just have to bear with it for a couple of minutes. I suspect because I'm moving those guys over a long distance through trees, I have to do a few more calculations than I normally would, the game that is, so I just can't handle doing that and recording high resolution video at the same time. So as you can see, all my elements kind of arrived half-assed backwards the way that I would have wanted them to arrive. I definitely would have sent my tanks in first, and they did arrive first. But the platoon that arrived last, the one that just arrived, I would have preferred that one to have arrived first and on the left flank, so I could have immediately moved it into its supporting position. And then I would have had this platoon here arrive second shortly after and move it into position, and then finally have Echo Company arrive where they are and execute my main assault. I would have left the combined anti-armour team behind, because I have not much use for them here. And I would have left all the trucks and AAVs out of the AO and just loaded up on ammo out of the AO and moved my Marines in on foot. There's a lot of big juicy targets waiting to be destroyed with artillery there. Suppressing those buildings with my machine guns as I move my troops up. Some more enemy incoming spotting rounds. So far the enemy artillery fires have been very ineffective and off target, so yeah, there's a couple of exceptions. The one time being when that sniper team was almost caught in the enemy bombardment. So I'm not that concerned about these spotting rounds, but they do turn out to be a big concern as I begin my main assault. Those spotting rounds are actually coming down, spotting my machine guns that open fire there. I kind of figured that out, so I think, right, I'm going to move them. And here comes some mortar spotting rounds, and I have no idea where they're coming from. But they were actually aimed at my javelin team and my company commander. And they get caught in that barrage, and I think the only person to actually survive is the company commander.
Stand by for cast request.
Just doing some preparatory airstrikes here.
Stand by for cast request.
Could have done with a couple of Cobras as well in this mission, but oh well. What can you do? You've got to make do with what you got. Just gonna try and move my tanks into a sneaky little hold down position up here. So that spotting round should have been a clue for me to haul ass with my javelin team and command element. But again, a lot of the mortar rounds have been sort of ineffective so far, so I wasn't as concerned as I should have been. And now you see I've got spotting rounds coming down in my assembly area. Spotted a enemy heavy machine gun. trying to figure out how I'm going to suppress it. So these spawning rounds are landing right on my assembly area here with these guys, so I was going to move them out of the way. It's like spawning rounds for 3 separate artillery strikes. There's 3 separate enemy fire missions coming in. I definitely could have handled this a lot better, but I would have had to have paused a lot. Every time I heard a round land, I would have had to have paused and hunt around the map and try and find it. And I just would have... I mean, the recording time on this, it was already 2 hours and 26 minutes. If I did all that, it just would have taken 3 hours for me to have recorded this mission. It's just too long. Come the airburst mortars right on my javelin team and my, even worse, on my company commander. You know, sometimes moving your guys is actually worse for them because they have less cover. But if it's got quite a small radius and they're quite small mortars, they're like 60 millimeters. So if I can get out of there, then they'll be safe. But they're just pinned; they can't move. That fire mission finishes. And I think that's it. I don't know why I didn't move my men there. I think it's just because my attention is elsewhere. Well, there's pretty much another one that comes down straight away. And takes out my javelin team.